Okay, hello. Good morning. How are you?
Fine.
How was your weekend?
Good.
More or less.
More or less? What did you do in your weekend? Kevin?
Because I don't have money in the weekend plans.
No problem. Everyone is the same with you. Everyone is without money, so that's no problem. Okay, what are we going to see today? We are in our food and service class, so we are going to see today the services features, and we are going to be able to recognize the importance of the standardization of the services. Remember that last class we were speaking about the difference between services and goods, but today we are going to make the complete explanation. So first, at the beginning, I would really like to know something about why did you choose this major? Why are you studying this major? Can you tell us, please, Maceto?
Yes, of course. First, I love cooking. I don't really like the service, but
Do you think it's important for your major?
yeah, it's very important.
Okay, normally there's a difference between the service and the kitchen. Always there's like a difference, but I think that you need to know both. That's why we are here. But for example, tell me, Pamela, what do you like the best from your career or for your major?
I like that I'm able to get to know new persons and I get to do my own creations if we're speaking about cuisine.
Okay, and tell me, do you know that the kitchen is really, really important with the service? So how can you relate your major with the service?
Yes, because experience to client is very important.
Okay, now what we're going to do first is I need to work together. So we have the word service, okay? And when we think about service, we have a lot of ideas, okay? We have some adjectives, we have some nouns, we know many things about the service. But what I want you to know is first to think about words that we can speak about the service. So please, we are going to have like 2 minutes so you can work with a couple. If you want, you can get together and just work with a couple and tell me at least 7 words that brings you to when you speak about the service. What things do you remember when you speak about the service? So come on, you can get in couples. If you want, you can work over here. You can work in a trio. You can work in couples. So you can tell me some things about the service. You can get together. You can move low. That's fine. You can. If you want to be in a trio, that's fine. No problem.
Words about service.
What did you think about the service? Hi.
Hello.
Yes, that's fine. Come on.
Sorry
If
for
you
being
want,
late.
that's fine.
Excuse me.
Okay, if you want, we are working about the service. So if you want, we are going to speak about what is the service. So we are trying to relate words that remember you to the service, okay? You can talk about anything, about the people, you can talk about nouns, about adjectives. Okay, so we have 1 minute, tell me.
Service is experience and quality.
Experience, okay?
Quality.
Quality,
Action.
actions,
Products.
products.
Yes.
You tell me.
Customer.
Customer. What else? Do you have anything else?
Kindness.
Kindness, okay?
Something about respect or something.
Respect, yes, why not? Something else over there, maybe? Eva, do you have any idea about the service? Any other word that you can find and that help us? Experience, okay, over there. How come you have something? For example, you're in sales, so something you can make the relation with the sales.
Teamwork. Maybe.
Teamwork. Okay. Any other word? Something else that you cannot find here? Victor, do you have another idea?
Relationships.
Relationships.
Skills.
Okay, let's work with these words. So now that we have already got these words, and I think that these ones are very important words, we are going to see, and we are going to try to make a meaning. I already got a meaning, but I want you to create a meaning. So for example, if we are talking about experience, we are talking about products, we're talking about the customer. How can we make a sentence? So, with the teams that you're working with, I need you to tell me, using these words, how can you make a sentence? And how can you make the meaning of service, okay? Using these words, so just work together and just tell me, how can you make it? The services you can begin with, the service is?
An experience to person and client.
Experience from one person to a client. Okay, do you want to add anything else? It's an experience from person to customer.
The service is respect the customer and the product.
I like that one. The service is respect
Service is to treat people as you want to be treated.
the customer. What else did you say?
And the product.
And the product. Do you got another meaning over there? Maybe?
It could be respect the choices the customer makes.
Okay, respect the choices that the customer made.
Try to make good relationships towards the customer.
I don't know. The customer made. And what else?
Trying to make good relationships.
Try to make good
Relationships.
relationships. Okay, I think that we already got enough. So what we're trying to say is that is the experience that one person gets by another person, okay? We're trying to say that is the respect for a customer, yes, because we have to respect the customer. That person is not just paying, that person is part of our restaurant. We are going talking about the respect the choices because the person can choose anything they want and we have to respect that. And to make good relations, because how many in your work, how many of you had good relations or have some friends in Facebook with their clients, with their customers? No one? So anyone is following anyone in Facebook or whatever? No problem, when you work you are going to see it, okay? So now we are going to see the real meaning of service. So you have any question over here? No? Okay. Let's see. Now, this is our presentation. So now we are going to search if what you say about the service is real. So can you tell me, please, Gregorio, what do you understand for service?
Set of activities to meet and respond to needs of a customer.
Okay, do you think that is similar to the ones that we say in the blackboard, Kevin?
Yes, since the letters is
Normal? Yes, because we talk about the customer, we say about respect, we say about relation. Okay, and can you help me reading, please, Pedro, the other one?
Yes. In economics, there are two types of business. The one offering services and on the other hand, offering products. And both have completely different characteristics, which makes them unique.
Okay, we are going to see in this class the difference between products and services, the difference between the goods and the services. But we are going to begin first saying, so now that we know the meaning, what is a service? Hugo, tell me.
what is the service?
Okay, tell me, what is a service? What do you understand about, after all, what is a service?
The service is an action that people
Do?
or give
Or give, okay,
the other people.
to other people?
Yes. I don't know.
No, that's fine, that's fine. It's an action that the people do without. Tell me,
It's
Carolina.
something, some activity that responds to necessities.
To a need, okay? Some people need something, so we are going to have another people to do it. And everyone here needs a service, everyone here. And I think that many of us has got bad experiences. Have you got bad experiences with services, Mari? Can you tell us an example?
The service and my job is
Okay.
a little different,
but always I try give the better of me, but for the people, because the reason is that the people feel so good in their place.
Okay, because you made your best, and I know that sometimes we need the help of another ones, and they don't help us. But what we are going to do now is, the service has a lot of different features or characteristics. We have intelligibility, personability, heterogeneity, and inseparability. Do you know the meanings of these, or you haven't noticed the meaning of this? Yes, more or less? No? More or less? It's not clear? That's fine. So we are going to work on that. I'm going to put in the blackboard the 4 features of the service. We have here 1, we have here the other one, heterogeneity, we have inseparability, and we have personability, okay? We have these 4. I'm going to put it at the blackboard. I'm going to give you on Teams the example. We have an example, and we also have the meaning, okay? So you're going to come to the blackboard, you are going to discuss with your classmates, and you're going to say, for example, if I give you this, the personal or server can be separate from the customer. Maybe you already got an idea of what of the feature is this. So you are going to come to the blackboard and you are going to paste it on the blackboard and the characteristic that you think that accomplished this. And then we have an example. So you are already 14, so I'm going to give it to you. This one is an example. That one is the example, and this one is the meaning. Okay? This one is the meaning, and this one is the example. It is not the same. Maybe the example is of one, and maybe the meaning is of another one. Okay, that one is the meaning, the example, and this one is the meaning, and you already got here. This one is the meaning, and this one is the example. Okay? Please read it and try to discuss. I'm going to glue these ones on the board. If you have any words that you don't understand from the reading, please tell me and I'm going to put them on the blackboard. Okay? If there's any words that you don't understand. You can read it all together, so if you have any question, you can tell me. You can ask me. You already got it? Are you sure? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to finish pasting this. As you can see, on the back of your word, you have the tape. You just have to tip, okay, to move the tip, and you can glue it on the board. But it's a little bit difficult. Okay. It's not that easy. Okay. Who is going to come first? Say, me. Who is going to come first? Which team is coming first? You're coming first? Come on, Carolina. Tell me. Where are you going to put it? The meaning.
In heterogeneity.
Okay? Place it.
This is the meaning.
Okay? And the example is of the same?
Yeah, this is the example.
That's example. Okay, and it's the same from heterogeneity? Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Okay, tell me.
Well, the meaning is this. As it says, it's difficult to standardize. It depends completely on the person. This means that, for example, if you
Okay? Maybe if you do another person do it differently, it's going to be different.
Yeah, it's a little bit of variety.
Okay,
So
there's
the
variety.
service you want to give it would be not always the same.
Do you think that is right, Yaneli, or not?
Yes.
Yes? No? What do you think? Yes? Okay, and the example, tell me about the
The
example.
example is talking about a patient that is feeling really bad, so he needs some medicine, but he needs a prescription from the doctor. And the questions about this is that, does he needs to see the doctor?
Okay.
Does the doctor needs to see the patient? And does the doctor needs to check vital signs?
Do you think that is the example for that?
No.
Okay, we are going to see it when anyone needed. If anyone needed that, he can pull it out and put it in another place, okay? Thank you, Carolina. Okay, for the second, come on, who is going to come? Your example or your meaning? Come on, Marcelo, you can do it.
Okay. The meaning
Okay.
is separability.
I think we two, okay.
The personal server can be separated for the customer.
Okay,
The client and server must be on the same moment or at the least same time. Needs an interaction at least in one moment.
okay. And the example, do you think is from that or another one?
No, I think it's heterogeneity.
Well, you already got an example, and they say it was not right, so maybe that one is? From this we think, or is possibility, isn't?
Inseparability.
Okay, why do you think that?
Because says a patient is feeling really bad, so he needs the same medicine, but he needs a prescription with the doctor. Okay. Because separability, you need to be
Together at the same time.
That's-
Okay, so we need to be together at the same time. If we are speaking about some feature of the service is that, okay? So yes, that's an example of sensibility. And let's see, what is your example? Kevin, can you read me the example?
Yes. Two different students in the same subject.
Thank you, Maceto.
But with different teachers in two different schools. The A, are they learning the same? B, the classes are the same. C, are both classes the same?
And do you think, why do you think is it heredity? Do you think it's right or not?
Yeah.
Yes? And what do you think is that example?
The
Okay, the teacher is giving, tell me, Eva.
Because they are two different
Thank you,
persons.
Kevin.
They are two different persons, two different
Teachers?
Uh-huh. And the same.
Although, okay, although, no, that's fine. Although there is the same topic, maybe one teacher gives the classes in one way, and maybe the teacher gives the classes in another way. So, no matter if it's the same class, maybe if they're in different schools and with different teachers, it depends on the person that is giving the service. Okay, thank you. Over there, do you have your meaning?
Yes.
Please come on, Pedro.
We think that this is
Just face it.
okay.
Okay, can you read it?
Yes. Can be touched, sensed, tasted, or felt. The
Mhm.
client just has an idea and like with expectations. It depends on the culture and education level.
Do you think is that right, Gregorio? Or not?
Yes.
It's right? Okay, and you're going to give me the example, Israel? Can you give me the example?
Yes.
He's going to, okay, and why the intangibility, when you choose this one, Pedro, do you think that it's something that you cannot touch and something that you cannot feel the service, or you can feel it?
Yes, it can be touched or sensed. A difference that the food that is a product you can touch, smell.
Well, okay. Thank you, Pedro. Okay, and tell me, this example is for what?
Or this one. We thought that maybe it would be like this one. Or this one.
Okay, but if it's example, just, okay, that's fine. That's
I
fine.
think it's another
Yes.
way.
Here. Okay, and tell me why did you
Okay,
choose this?
we have like a couple is going to celebrate their first anniversary,
Uh-huh.
and they are thinking in visiting a new restaurant, and they are wondering like, A, does it has delicious food?
Mhm.
B, is this service efficient? C, is this a beautiful restaurant? And D, is it an expensive restaurant?
Okay, and we are going to see the meaning of possibility, and we are going to see if that fits on your example. Okay, thank you, Israel. Who has the last one? You already got the answer. You got two spaces, so you already got the answer. But come on, Imani.
Okay, this is for this place.
Okay.
So the customer goes to a restaurant, and in his first visit, the food was cold. The food has a fly, in this case the soup,
Mm-hmm.
and the waiter was hungry many times.
Okay, he was hungry. And why do you think it's instability?
Because the service is not when the partners say that we must touch, no, make sense.
Okay, you
Because-
can sense it.
Because when you arrive to the restaurant, you recite,
You received
receive the emotion of the waiter.
the waiter.
the
Okay.
waiter. And but in the case and the food is more or less because
Do you think the experience of that client was good?
don't know.
What happens if you find a fly in your soup?
I would get angry.
You get angry? What
Yeah.
happens? You're going to pay your account?
No.
And if you find a hair or something like that? No? Okay. And your meaning?
And this is for this
Okay. And that means that?
can be storage.
Uh-huh.
The service that is not given in the moment will disappear,
Will disappear?
and the first impression is the only one.
Okay. So I think that maybe this one can also work with this example. Because that client, how is going to be the experience of this client? Maybe. Victor,
Yes.
tell me. What is going to happen with him? Thank you, Ismail. Is his visit, the food was cold, he just a fly, and the waiter was hungry.
No, first one you have to, if you are a waiter or something, you
Mhm.
have to be happy. You have to show your happiness.
At least show your happiness. Maybe you're not happy, but at least you have to show it. Uh-huh.
Because a lot of clients are angry or something.
Uh-huh.
But you have to try to be happy. Feel.
How are you going to make them feel?
You have to show your emotions.
Okay? And maybe that one can comes also, that is fine, but can also comes with this one, because that one is going to be the first impression, and he's angry. The client is not going to come anymore. The service that you don't give the first time, you are not able to give it anymore.
Second time.
Okay? You do it very good, but now we are going to see the meanings. But you do it? Excellent. Okay, so you can, let's see the meanings. Okay, so now we are going to see the special features of the service. You make the activity, and that was very good, that was excellent, but now we are going to read it. So can you begin reading, please, Pamela?
Intangibility can be touched, smelled, felt, hold. Can be placed in a store, can be sold in big amounts. The customer receives the impact of the services until the moment he is asking for it. Their perception is according to their culture and expectations.
Okay, and someone has got an experience about that, for example, that you are waiting for something and you imagine something and you really say, no, that will be the product of my life, and then you receive it and it was just something disgusting. Do you have any example, for example? Tell me.
When I tried to buy a dress online, and
Uh-huh.
I asked for a color pink, bright pink, and it was really red. And I was like, what? This is not pink.
And what do you feel?
Horrible! I didn't like pink.
And they change it?
No, they didn't.
Yes, because it's closed.
It's closed.
Okay, someone else has an example? Maybe? Israel, something? You work in a shop, is that right?
Yeah.
And what happens with the clothes, for example? Everything you sell, the people like it?
For example, when someone is hearing the alarm from a phone,
Mm-hmm.
something when you did when I forgot that the word, when you do something wrong, killing
Okay.
it will be like
It rips.
all this, yeah.
Okay, it has like a hole or
So-
something like that.
The person comes another day or maybe always
The
like
same day,
that,
uh-huh.
and they are like, oh, I saw and like my clothes.
Okay. It has a little hole.
There is something, there is something wrong with it. Can you change it or maybe give me my money again? Or something?
And sometimes they are angry.
Yeah, and maybe disappointed because they
Yes.
are like.
And maybe how many of us have sometimes tried to reach the telephone and try to speak with Bancomer or with Banamex and they never reach you? Okay, you just deal again and and you never get an answer. Something that's a service, okay? So if the person is going to buy it without knowing what he's going to receive. So it's something that they have to do it, and they're not going to be having any previous experience. So that's intangibility. Can you read maybe inseparability, please, Eva?
Inseparability can be transport and service can be separate from the providers. When the product is given, it won't back.
Okay, can you tell me an example, please, Jacob? Maybe, I don't know, who wants to make an example about this inseparability? For example, if you are going to cut your hair, okay, and you go to the hairdresser, can you just go your head?
No, it's very very necessary.
Okay.
We go to the
hairdresser, okay, you need to go. Okay, for the ladies, when you get your nail polish, what happens? You can send your hand, and they're going to
Your hand.
you send your hand, and they're going to come back. Yes.
For example, if we are speaking about services in food and beverage, it's like the entire. It's a question. Could be like the entire experience, because you go like a customer and then you take a seat and then the waiter is coming and they he take your order and to the kitchen. But then it's like something that is going to be together, because maybe you could have a very good waiter, but maybe in the kitchen they take too long to give you the dish. So even if it is part of the same service, it's like divided into parts.
Yes, that is divided because we are going to speak a little bit later about the goods and the products. And the service is not given by one person. The service is given by a lot of persons. That's why one of the words that we searched in the first, it was teamwork. Okay? Because we need to work as a team. The person is going to the restaurant and they're going to eat, but what they're going to eat is a product. But all the service is when the waiter arrives, when he takes the order, when he goes to the kitchen. But if in the kitchen there is not working, what is going to happen? The customer is going to be angry. Okay? So that's why they need to be working together. It's part of the service. But directly the food, when you can see it and feel it, it's a product. It's a good, but it's part of the service. So the service has to be working not only in front of the guest, it has to be working behind. Many of the services, you can just see it in the front, but you need all the people that is in the back working with you together. Especially when we will talk about food and beverage. For example, we have the bartender. Who has worked here in the bar? No one works in a bar here?
Yes, I'm working.
Okay, you work in a bar. And tell me, what happens if the waiter goes and she tells you, please give me the mojito, come on, quickly, give me the mojito. And you don't have ice, or you don't have the lemon, or you don't have whatever.
It's very impossible.
It's impossible.
Yes, it's impossible.
Okay, you cannot do it. So what is going to happen with the guest? Okay, the guest is going to be angry, and he is going to be shouting and all that. So you need to be prepared. That's why we have a magic word. What is the magic word for food and service when we have everything prepared?
Mise en place?
Mise en place, okay? That means that everything has to be at the moment in the right place. So, heterogeneity. Tell me, what is this? Who can read it? Over there is money. Tell me. Heterogeneity.
Heterogeneity.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on who receives.
Mm-hmm.
In service, quality depends on who person providing the service is a different.
Mm-hmm.
It must be perceived.
Perceive it, by the customer.
By the customer, the perception depends on many factors such as mood, age, expectations, experience, and culture.
For example, all the ones that are here normally have served many different kind of people, many nationalities, because we are in a place where we have Latins, we have Americans, we have Canadians, we have, okay? Tell me, is the same working for a Latin, for a Mexican, than working for a Canadian?
No.
Or is the same working, for example, for a Japanese?
No.
Okay, if you can tell me that you are going to give the service and you try to give it every time the same, but what is going to happen if we have, for example, in Mexico, normally there are big families together, and normally they speak all the time together, and normally they ask you one thing and then another thing and another thing. Or what happened, for example, with the English people, that they arrive at time. Okay, if they have a reservation, they arrive at time. Someone has an example about how the different nationalities or how the age or the mood of the person can make a difference on the service?
No.
No one has an example? Thank you.
For example, when you see the old people, they have, or mothers, they have babies, you can give another chair or something, something the kid would like to play, so the kid will be shouting and crying all the time and molesting all the customers.
That's important because maybe there's a kid and maybe there's just couples and they are in a romantic. You're not going to put the kid there. You're maybe change it. So you have to see the people. You have to change not only your perspective. You also has to see the experience. Maybe one person is going to the restaurant and they think that a taco is like the ones in Taco Bell. You know that it's like a crunchy tortilla, like a tostada. And then when they see a taco, they say, eh? Because their experience says that the taco is like Taco Bell, and that's not real. Okay, so the experience and the culture is an important factor. Who can read the other part?
Me.
Tell me.
Difficult to standardize and measure due to the specific characteristic of being difficult to approve. It is why surveys are difficult to standardize, because it is not something that can be done in limit or have clear instructions. Depends on the service provided, your body language, imagine, mood, and ability to communicate.
Well, how are we going to standardize something? For example, Daniela, how can you standardize something, or you know what is standardization?
Yes, now.
It's when you make something? Like saying? Okay, standardization is like making something the same, always the same. And for example, if there's a person, how can you make that person to do the things always the same? You always go to work and make the things, the same things, every day?
It's not possible because the person maybe is angry, maybe is
sad,
and you can't make the person is happy.
Because if it's in the good work and it's sad or is crying or has just got a fight, okay, the services is very difficult to standardize, okay? Because it depends on the person that is giving the service. And the last one, versatility. Who is going to read it? Victor, you want to read it?
Versatility.
Uh-huh.
Can be storage, can be displayed. The service that you don't give today can be given tomorrow. First impression. The server must begin and end with quality. Must suit the expectation.
Okay. What do you understand with this one?
That you should start with a good impression for the customer and end it with that, not just the first. You start smiling,
okay,
you start talking with the customer, and then he says something you don't like, and you no, I'm not going to.
And what happens, for example, when you know they're not going to give you any money? They're not going to give me any money, thank you. I'm not going to. That's right, because if you go to a person and you say, today I'm very angry. No, thank you, sir. No. Serve yourself. But tomorrow come. Tomorrow I'm going to be good. Tomorrow I don't have any problems. Tomorrow I'm happy. You can do that. Do you think the guest is going to come back?
No, he's not going to come back, and he's going to tell their friends that don't come there.
Okay, that's important because that's the communication that we have mouth to mouth. Now we already got all the characteristics. And why do we have to know this? In order to Standardized. Okay, so we are going to finish, and now we are going to see the difference between the services and the goods. Okay, now that we already know what are the special features of the services, we are going to see what is a good. So we are going to see a video. Please pay attention to the video. The video is going to speak about the goods and about the services. So you're going to take the general ideas of the video so we can make the conclusions and we can say what is a good, what is a service, and what is the difference, okay? So pay attention, please.
When you grow up, there are a lot of different jobs you can do. People can pay you to fly planes, build buildings, bake cakes, or be a doctor. You can also sell things to people, such as cars, clothes, books, or even pets. The first group of things are services. The second group of things are goods. So, what is the difference between goods and services? Goods are things that you can touch, feel, and take home with you. If you buy a good, you then own it. Services are things other people do for you, which you pay them for. If you get a haircut, that is a service because you are paying the hairdresser to cut your hair. If you pay a bus driver to take you somewhere, that's also a service. You can't touch a bus ride or take it home with you. A bus ride is a service, not a good. Let's look at some more examples. Every day in Shopville, people are buying goods and services. Let's look at some of the things they buy. Your teacher will pause the video and you can guess which ones are goods and which ones are services. Remember, goods are the things that you can touch, feel, and take home with you. Services are things that you pay people to do for you. Okay, here we go. This is Jenkins. Today, he went to the shops and bought some clothes, some books, and got his bike fixed. Which of these are goods and which of these are services? Why don't you pause now and figure out which one is which? Great job. Clothes and books are goods because they are things that you can take home with you. Getting your bike fixed is a service because Jenkins paid the repairman to do something for him. Now let's see what Sally is doing in Shopville today. Today, Sally went to the post office and paid for a letter to be delivered. She also had lunch at a restaurant and bought a new TV. Which of these things are goods and which are services?
Okay, so tell me, what do you think about of this? She went to a restaurant and she ate. Then she goes to the post office so she can send mail, okay? And then she goes and she buys a TV or something like that. So tell me, Hugo, what do you think? What is a service about all the actions that she made?
The service is very important in daily life.
Uh-huh. Okay, and for example, do you think that buying a TV is a service?
No.
No.
No? What is it? Tell me, Mari.
I think that the first image,
The post office?
picture is a service
Why?
because, for example, the girl sent something
Okay.
and she received
Okay, she's going to receive
uh,
a service.
and in the picture down.
This one?
She has
A lunch?
a lunch, so it's a good because she tastes food.
Okay, it should taste it. And for example, in the TV, that is a good.
Maybe, but maybe it's like a service because if the girl buy the Netflix, it's a service.
Okay, Netflix is a service and maybe the TV is a good. Okay, so now let's see.
Why don't you see if you can work out which of those things are goods and services? Well done! Sally paid for 2 services today. Mailing the letter was one service and the other service was lunch. She paid the people at the post office to mail her letter and she paid the people at the restaurant to cook her lunch. She also bought a TV, and this is a good because she could take it home with her. So remember, goods are things that you can touch, feel, and take home with you at the end of the day. Services are things you pay other people to do for you.
So is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, that's easier. So now we are going to make the conclusions about the class of today. So we are going to see. Can you tell me about the conclusions? Okay, let's see. Let's standardize. Can you tell me, get together and just work together and tell me at least 3 things that you think that is different from one to another, okay? From the services and from the goods. So just 3 things and we are going to make the conclusions. And how can you talk about standardization according to the goods? What can you say? It's easier to standardize the goods?
Yeah.
Yes? No? Why? Okay, tell me.
It can be touch,
Okay, you can touch them?
smell,
Mhm.
smell, and before and see.
Okay, before you see it, you already, okay, you say these ones are my speakers and then I can see it. Okay, another one, another example? Maybe better over there, Israel, Jacob, another example? No.
No.
Ah, thank you.
No, when you go to a restaurant and you go with a food, no, because the food is necessary for life, and but the service, you go with the food, but the service is a extra.
Okay, it's an extra?
Yes, and you pay for the food, but the service is free, maybe, or it's a compliment with the
It's
food.
like a compliment. That's a good example because we not always pay for the service. We think that we pay for it, but really, for example, in the case of the food and beverage, we are paying for the beverage. But it includes the service, okay? It's included. There are many services that doesn't include, in the price is not included the service, but in food and beverage, it's included. So if we have to make the final conclusions, let me see. Can you turn off the light, please, Maceto? Okay, can you tell me, so it can be storage, you can put them, okay? You can see them, you can hold them, you can see, okay, I like it, I don't like it. You can touch them. If you want, you can smell them. I don't know if you're going to smell your things, but you can smell them. If you're going to taste it, I don't know if you have a computer and you want to taste it, that's right, that's your problem. Okay? You can standardize. Okay, because it's going to be made by a machine. Most of the times it's made by a machine, it's not made by the person. So it can be made in big amounts. The service is unique. The service is given from one person to another. The goods, it's a lot of goods and everyone has the same. For example, the telephones you got, it's a good. And maybe there are 4 or 3 persons here that has the same cell phone and doesn't make anything unique. What is unique is the service. But here, we don't have a lot of that, but, okay, can be seen before the customer buy it. The customer can decide, taking into account what they see, and can be changed. Okay, you can go and say, for example, the clothes, I don't like these clothes, and maybe they are going to give you another one. In the service, if you don't like it, they cannot give you another service. It's going to be the only one. So for conclusion, I think, I would like to share with you. Can you read it, please? Kevin, can you read the first part?
Conclusions. The service is an activity that requires the human touch, the human intervention, and is more than a series of activities. It's a privilege and it is a great responsibility.
Do you think it's that right?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. And then tell me, who wants to read it? Eva, you want to read it? Tell me.
Food and beverage server area always in the most important events of the customers. We are part of their remembers.
Okay, I think there is. Okay, food and beverage. Us as food and beverage servers and you that are studying the gastronomy major has to realize that we are going to be present in all the important events of the people. When you go to a wedding, you are not going to be invited in the wedding, but you are going to serve the dinner. You are going to be maybe in the baby shower, you are going to be in the wedding, you are going to be in the dinner, you are going to be there. So we are going to be part of those special moments. And it's a big responsibility to be part of the best moments of these people. We have to work together in order to make them feel happy, in order to make them remember. Because maybe if you make their wedding a mess, they're always going to remember it. but with pain, okay? For example, you don't bring the cake, the food was burned, the food was salty, whatever, okay? So you have to realize that we are going to be part of everyone's life. You are going to be in the pictures, you are going to be in the video, and you are going to be in that special moment. So we have a great responsibility. So if you want to read the last part, Carolina?
Let's work all together to make them remember the best of all.
Do you think is that right?
Yes.
We are going to work together?
Yes.
Ah, totally good. Come on, you're going to work it. Yes, okay? Okay, thank you. If you have any questions, you know you can write me an email or you can go to my office. Thank you. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.
Bye.